All right, we're rolling, Nick.
How you doing, Jeff?
Good. How are you, brother?
Good. It's the first of two final preview shows for CNY Hoop Talk in the 315. All I can say is what a weekend of basketball we witnessed this past weekend. I did the boys' games in SRC, so I didn't see all the girls' games, but on the boys' side of things, I mean, some of the best games I've seen in a long time. It was just some really, really good basketball this past weekend. It was fun to be a part of. It was fun to witness some great battles going on. I know I was doing one of the games. I couldn't tell who was who. I was doing, I think it was West Canada Valley was playing Waterville. They're both purple and white. They're both Indians. They're both, I couldn't tell. It took me a little while to tell, to make sure I'm calling the right team. It was just, they were so evenly matched. It was just a great game.
You could tell you've been doing it for a while too, because you don't slip up that much. I'm about to tell you and send you a text that you don't slip up at all. And if you do, you correct as soon as you do with names or whoever's the foul's on. Then you let the referees know that you didn't get the foul call either.
Yeah, it took me a minute, but it was just some great games. Off the top of my head, I'm just thinking about, even that game. Tyson Maxim for Waterville was unbelievable in a losing effort. Of course, Will Smith was really good in a winning effort. We're gonna have him on tomorrow night. Gavin Richardson for DeRider in a losing effort was outstanding. Great game he played.
He scores at will. Gavin scores.
Yeah, he's a really, really good player. And, I was talking to his coach the next day, and I'm thinking I said, so what's Gavin's plans for where's he going and all that? And he says he's going somewhere to play soccer. And I'm like, wow, he must be a great soccer player because he's a really good basketball player. So
he's just athletic then, because that girl from JD the girl from Ludden that scored the 40 points, she's going to UConn to play softball.
Caitlin Kibling?
Yeah, she Kelly told me that from OCC when I was sitting next to her at the game. She said she's going to UConn.
Yeah.
That girl that scored 41 points.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's great, Jeff. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm a big proponent of these kids playing as many sports as they can in high school. I mean, because you only go to high school once, you know what I mean? It's just play as much as you can, be a part of as many teams as you can. It's great experience. It's times you'll never forget later in life. I'm not one of these guys that like the specialized things, I mean, it works for some people, but I think you gain a lot more when you play different sports and involve yourself in different things. So
I was basketball, football, and baseball on my career.
Yeah.
And when AU came around, I had to give baseball up. But I do regret not playing baseball after 10th grade. Especially if kids play lacrosse, kids can play basketball and football because lacrosse is around here.
Yeah, I mean, different seasons. Yeah, different seasons. You keep yourself busy. You're part of different teams, different, relationships with your teammates and coaches. And like I said, later in life, you look back on those times, and it's some of the best times of your life. Like I said, we had some great games this weekend. What we're looking at right now going into the finals weekend on the girls' side of things, in the AA, it went pretty chalk. We got the number 1 seeded CNS to number 2 seeded Beeville. So those games, that level went as people thought it would.
We get all those right. I think we got all those right.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I ultimately have CNS winning that one, but we'll see what happens there. In the A division, though, JD pulled off a big surprise. We were talking about that before the show. They beat the number 1 seeded Auburn team that I thought was going to have a shot at winning the whole thing. I thought they would play Bishop Ludden in the final. But JD knocks them off as a 5 seed, and I wasn't at the game, but you were. I heard they were raining threes from everywhere.
11, I think it was 11 threes in the third quarter.
Yeah.
17 total for the game.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't care who you are. If the other team's making that many threes, you're going to be in trouble that night. So
And then Bishop
Auburn ran into a buzzsaw that night, but they got a young team. They'll be back next year. But JD, as a 5 seed, advances to the final against number 3 seeded Bishop Ludden. I expected Bishop Ludden to make it to the final because I think they played a tough schedule, and they were the number 3 seed. And they had to knock off a really good Indian River team and Adrian Lamora. And I know you saw that game too. And I guess Adrian played really well, but man,
a lot of
Caitlin
help with
Kibling,
Yeah,
it's hard when somebody drops 41 on you. So Kibling went off for Bishop Ludden for 41 to put her team in the finals against JD.
it seems like that Kibling girl every other possession. It feels like when I was watching her score, every time she bring on the ball down the court, she scored. It seems like.
Yeah. And then in the Bs, you got General Brown, the 2 seed, taking on the number 12 seeded Cobras. So Bishop Grimes is a surprise team in the B division. Knocked off the number 1 seeded Little Falls, who was undefeated at the time. The number 12 seeded Bishop Grimes Cobras. They're the highest seed left in the playoffs on both sides. But one thing there is Coach Cifanelli played a really hard schedule this year. And I think that helped his girls because when it came time to play like a Little Falls and they're going to be up against General Brown, a really good team, they're kind of battle tested. They played a lot of teams out of their conference that were really good. So even though they're a 12 seed, they're a very good team. So the Cobras are the surprise there against General Brown. In the C division, Waterville at 20-2 will take on West Canada Valley. So West Canada Valley has their both their boys and their girls teams in the sectional finals. So it's a great year for West Canada Valley. And they're going to have a tall task taking on Waterville. And then in the D division, the number 1 seed is playing the number 2 seed. So that went pretty much as planned, Copenhagen against Poland. So should be some good games on the girls' side on Saturday. I'm looking forward to those games, watching those games with you.
You got to announce any of them, or you doing boys?
That?
Are you announcing any of those games this weekend coming up?
No, I'll just be there with you for the girls' games. I'm announcing the boys' games though. Sunday.
I got you.
Yeah. So on the boys' side of things, I mean, you got to start. I'm going to start from the bottom up because the AA game was just nuts. So, in the D division, Hamilton won their game. They're the number 1 seed. They're still undefeated. They're going to take on number 3 seeded Cincinnatus. Cincinnatus was a tough team in their semifinal. So they got a shot. They're 18-1, so they're nothing to sneeze at. So that should be a good game on the D level. In the C's, we got number 2 seeded West Canada Valley against the number 5 seed Dolgeville, who knocked off the number 1 seed in Tully. So that was a big upset in the C division. Number 5 seeded Dolgeville knocked off number 1 seeded Tully. And we're going to have Cameron Comstock from Dolgeville on the show tomorrow night. And I think you're going to get Will Smith from West Canada Valley as well, correct?
Yeah, will be on.
All right. So we got those guys coming up tomorrow night. In the B division, you got number 1 seeded Chittenango. And I want to say this because I apologize, but I was getting their names. I thought I had their names right all this time, and I was saying it wrong. I got reminded of that the semifinal. It's the Mesh brothers, not the Mosh brothers. So It's the Mesh brothers, and man, those two can shoot it. And the younger one, I think, shoots it even better. But they're both really,
And he's left-handed.
Yeah, they're both really good. Bishop's good. Chittenango's a really good team. And they're going up against a very athletic, very talented UAS team. That's the first time I've seen UAS play this year. And Danelius King's son is a really, really good player. But they got other players as well. They're 20-3 this year. So I'm really looking forward to that game. I think it's going to be really competitive, UAS against Chittenango. And then in the A division, the number 1 seeded Spartans of New Hartford have made it to the final. They knocked off Bishop Grimes last night. They're 20-2. Our guy, Zach Kulakowski, had a great game last night, 30 points. And they're going to take on a surprise SAS team, a number 10 seeded Adams of Syracuse Academy of Science. And I know Coach Vines was getting on me last night for not picking his team to make it to the final, but when I'm making these picks, I'm picking what I think will happen, and their team was although his team is very talented, but they got a 12-9 record. They've been wildly inconsistent this year. And it was one of those things where you didn't know which team was going to show up. But it seems like they're gelling at the right time. They're playing really good basketball. They looked really good in the semifinal last night against JD. They were in control from start to finish. I think they have a D1 talent on their team in Stavon Jones.
Did you watch Zach in Hartford?
What's that?
Were you there for New Hartford and Grimes?
Yeah, I did the game last night. Yep.
Yeah, he scores at will too.
Yeah, he had most of his points in the first half.
First quarter.
But that'll be a really tough game. New Hartford and SAS, that's going to be very competitive. And anybody, I wouldn't surprise me one bit. I mean, that's just going to be a really good game. It's going to determine who's on that night. But the game of the weekend, and maybe the game of quite a long time, was the Liverpool CBA game. It was an instant classic, 3 overtimes. I mean, Liverpool, they were shoveling dirt on their casket 3 or 4 times during that game, and they kept getting back up and somehow tying it up and go overtime. And they should have lost in regulation. They tied it up. They went into a first overtime. They looked like they were going to lose again. They forced a double overtime and then finally pulled it out in 3 overtimes. I mean, it was just an outstanding basketball again to be at. Both teams played their hearts out. And Liverpool, you got to give them credit. They kept getting back up off the mat. I mean, Jalen
Reynolds works took over at the perfect time.
Yeah, I mean, they were on the ropes, but they made the plays when they had to. Jaden Reynolds made some huge threes. Jacob Works, who we're going to have on in just a minute, made some plays down the stretch. Dan Anderson for CBA was great in that game, like he always is. Yeah. I mean, it was just a great basketball game between 2 teams at the high school level. It's one of those things where you say it's a shame somebody had to lose, but man, what a game we were treated to. Liverpool CBA. It was just a great battle. It was a heavyweight battle in the AA division. So, but what that brings up is what the seeding say, the brackets say the number 1 will play the number 2 in the final on Sunday. So we're all looking forward to that rubber match because they split during the regular season. So
that's going to be a fun
one. Looking forward to that. And just so you know, Jeff, I know we did our preseason or our pre-sectional predictions. I have a chance to
you want to bring that up?
I have a chance to have my winner picked from each division in every single one on both the boys and the girls, except the A division on the girls side, because Auburn ran into a buzzsaw with JD. But every other division in both the boys and the girls, the team that I picked to win it is still alive. So
I gotta see how many I got.
Just saying.
You can't beat that. I saved it. I'm gonna take a picture after the weekend and post it so that people know.
Yeah. Well, let me see if I won first before you picked. Let's see how the games go. Is Jacob on yet?
No, he's not on yet.
Okay.
I'll shoot him a text if you want.
Yeah, I mean, just a great game. You were there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. I mean, what did you think? It was tough. A lot of people said CBA should have fouled towards the end instead of giving them a chance to shoot a 3-pointer.
Well, the funny thing is that Jaden Reynolds actually gave that layup up on CBA on a blown assignment, and he gets the ball, takes the ball out of bounds, comes on the court and hit a 3. So he redeemed himself, which was crazy. But
yeah, but on the other side, I mean,
I did see a lot of coaches foul down 3 down the stretch too this weekend, which was a good thing to see.
Yeah, and it's something, some coaches like to do that, some don't. But it ended up hurting CBA in that situation because Reynolds, I mean, he wasn't supposed to be as free as he was. There was a missed assignment there, but anytime you let a shooter get off a shot like that, you have the chance of paying the price for it. So Jaden, to his credit, he knocked down a big shot and Liverpool pulled it out. Coach Blackwell survives and advances.
Another one. All right, Jacob's on. I'm going to bring him in.
Okay.
Works.
What's up, guys?
What up, dog?
Jacob Works. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys doing?
All right. We're happy to bring on Jacob Works of Liverpool High School to CNY Hoop Talk in the 315. Jacob, your team, we were just talking about it. There were unbelievable games up at OCC this past weekend on the boys' side and the girls' side, but nothing compared to that battle you guys had with CBA. 3 overtimes before you pull it out. And I was telling Jeff, your team, they were throwing dirt on your casket like 3-4 times during that game. You guys kept getting up off the mat and hitting a big shot to send it into overtime, send it into double overtime, send it into triple overtime, and then finally Reynolds hits a big 3. You made some big plays down the stretch. I want to ask you, Jacob, what was it like was that the best game you've ever played in?
Oh my gosh, it's not even close. This is the craziest atmosphere. You could feel just like the arena rumbling. You could see everyone filling up the stands around OCC. And like you guys said, credit to both teams. Like we both played amazing. We honestly should have lost in the first overtime in regulation, but still, it was just fun to be a part of.
That's what I was saying to Jeff. Yeah.
It was just fun to be a part of, and I'm glad we came out with the win and all the end of it.
Were you exhausted? What was it like to just keep pressing through when you guys were up against the wall? Your backs were up against the wall the whole time.
The adrenaline carried me through it. I'll be honest, I was a little tired, but just the competition and that motor that we all had. I knew I couldn't let my teammates down. They know they couldn't let me down, so we just stuck through it together, and that's what got us through all 3 overtimes.
Yeah. What type of things was Coach Blackwell telling you guys in the midst of the battle?
Just to keep our heads and to stay together, because at the end of the day, when we play together as a team, there's really no one that can beat us, and I truly believe that. And even this game on Sunday, if we play together, I think we'll come out on top.
Yeah. Jeff, you got something for Jake?
When you guys got down in that fourth quarter and Dan Anderson kept getting his way to the hole, what was going through your head as you guys got down by 2, 4, and 6 points?
We knew that was the guy who was going to have the ball in his hands, so it was just kind of our defensive adjustments. Andreo had a huge block in the fourth quarter on Dan when we moved our help side. I thought our guy Jake, who was guarding him the whole game, I thought he did a good job on Dan. There were just some switches, some other situations why he was scoring so much. But our defensive scheme, we've been working on it in practice. It's got to get better, and it'll only get just as bad with Kane on Sunday. So we know what we got to work on, and then that's just what we'll staple into the game on Sunday.
I like it.
Yeah. So let's talk about Sunday a little bit, Jacob. When you look at, so you guys split with West Jenny during the season, right? So the first game at their place. You guys were up 13 at halftime. You get outscored by 20 in the second half. You end up losing 73-66. You had 10 points. Reynolds had 15. Ash had 17. Christian Kane had 27 for them. Christian Amica had 15. What do you remember about that game? And it was really a tale of 2 halves, right? You guys were having your way with them in the first half, and then in the second half, they just were lights out. What do you remember from that first matchup?
This is just, it was early on in the season. It was our second game. It was before we really started meshing together throughout the season. We just remember that, we have to, it was kind of a lesson to us that we have to finish games. And coach tells us every day that finishing is way more important than how you start. So it's like we've had times this season, where we might have blown leads, or if we didn't do something down the stretch, then our opponent would have came back. So I think early on, that was just something that it was a lesson, it was a hard lesson, but we learned it, and it's got us through the season so far.
I bet you guys have
go ahead.
But you guys, I bet practice is very intense for you guys with the deep roster that you guys have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that prepares you guys a lot for the games that you're playing and the competition that you're playing?
Yeah, I truly think that we have 9 or 10 guys that could go on another team and be the leading scorer. Like, I think that's just how deep we are. And even with that, with us being tired during games or with injuries or whatnot, I think that no matter what, we just have the roster to fill in the holes of whatever's going on. And I think that's what makes us so special, and that's why I think we can be sectional champs.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are deep.
Yeah, so in the second meeting with West Genesee, now this one's at your place. It's on the 18th of January. Again, you guys are up 11 at halftime. So in both games, you've had good first halves. The first game, you did a good second half, but in the second game, you did have you were pretty consistent all the way throughout. You end up winning by 12. You had 14 that night. Ash had a big game. He had 26. Wingate gave you 16. But I think the wild card in that game was Tremblay hits 4 threes and ends up with 14 points. I mean, you guys end up winning by 12. I mean, Tremblay, who didn't hardly play the first time you guys played against them, hits 4 threes and gives you 14 points. I was telling Jeff, I said that was the difference in the game the second time around. Would you agree?
Yeah, Trombley, he's our motor, you know, he's one of our captains. He's a leader. I've known him since 6th grade. We grew up together. One of my best friends, truly, you know, and he's grown throughout the season. In my opinion, just aggressiveness, defensively, and of course with the shooting, you know, sometimes keeps us in games. With that, bringing him off the bench, like we said, you know, with such a deep roster, it really helps us out during crunch time.
So what would you say, again, you guys split during the regular season, you meet for all the marbles on Sunday at 7 p.m. What do you and what does Liverpool have to do to come out with the trophy on Sunday night?
We just have to play at our game. We have to play at our pace. We know Jenny's a great defensive team, and they'll speed you up with their press or their zone, whatever they run. But when we like I said earlier, when we play together, I don't think there's really a team that can beat us. Like we said, we have so many weapons and so many things that we can do on offense. So many places to go, whether it's Jaden, Bruce, Jadir, Andreo, Shantez. Like, you know, like we've had so many guys that have had big games this season. And I think that's what's carried us through this far is the fact that teams can't really focus in on one guy. There's too many guys. We move the ball pretty well, and we have been for the past few weeks. So with that getting better during the season, I think that I'm sorry. That's
okay.
what's gotten us this far, and that's what's going to carry us to the end of the season.
So how much fun have you been having this year?
This is the funnest team I've ever been on. Whether, you know, we're on the court, which of course I have fun with these guys, or in practice, or even at a team dinner. These guys are hilarious. You know, you might not see it, but
your TikTok videos are good. 100,060 views. I see.
You know, the TikTok is up there. I love doing that with my guys. One of our favorite things to do after practice. But like I said, just having so many fun guys on the team, as well as their skill, has just made this a really enjoyable season, as well as with the wins.
What's your favorite? What's your most favorite thing about Coach Black? Because you've been around Liverpool for a while. Were you on JV the year that they won the state championship, or were you?
I was on JV, yeah.
So that was a fun time. He's very successful in his short time at Liverpool. What do you like most about Blackwell?
It's just that he's a people person, and he knows how to he knows how to talk to you outside of basketball. Whether you're on the court or whether you got something else going on in the classroom, you know, he'll take care of it. He'll talk to you, and he's really like a father figure to all of us.
That's what makes a program successful, for sure.
So Jacob, let me ask you, the sectional final is at 7 o'clock on Sunday. So how will you treat that day? What's going to be your pregame ritual? What, you know, how you gonna spend Sunday leading up to game time?
You know, I always like to stay locked in. I'll probably get up early, eat a good breakfast. I want to eat throughout the day so I don't get hungry later. And it's just watching film. I'd like to do that on game days a lot, whether it's with my team. You know, sometimes we'll do like team film, whatever. And other times, you know, it would just be me by myself with my headphones on, trying to picture the game in my head because, you know, that works well for me. And just up until game time, just really thinking about what I can, not even scoring wise, what I can do for the team on the court and how I can lead them off of it.
Yeah. So, and what's your plans for next year at this point?
We're undecided at the moment.
Okay. All right. That's all right. Well, the most important thing right now is Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting ready for that day. You worked hard all season long to get to that point. So you have an opportunity Sunday night to bring another sectional championship to Liverpool High School. I know your dad would be proud of you. I knew your dad, so I know he would be proud of you, and I know your mom's proud of you too. So we want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be on CNY Hoop Talk in the 315. Good luck to you in the sectional final.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It was fun. Thank you, guys.
We'll see you this weekend, boy.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Take care, Jacob. Thank you.
Alexa's on too. You want to
Jacob
get
Works. Huh?
Alexa just signed on too. You want to get her right on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had Jacob Works from Liverpool High School. He's in the Class AA sectional final against West Genesee Sunday night at 7:00. Next up, we have Alexa Kulakowski from Cicero North Syracuse, who is also in the sectional final this weekend on Saturday. Hi, Alexa. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to CNY Hoop Talk in the 315. We thank you for taking time out to be with us tonight.
Yep.
So how excited are you to play in the sectional final on Saturday?
I'm really excited. Last year, we didn't get a chance to win sectionals, and we would have. So it's really nice to come back to it. Like in 10th grade, we were in the sectional final and we won. So just it's really exciting.
So what do you remember about your championship in 10th grade?
I didn't play much then, so I was mostly on the bench, but it was the environment was so fun. It was like different from anything I've ever experienced before. So hopefully it's going to be like that on Saturday.
Great. Now you play against a tough Baldwinsville team. You've played them twice this year. The first time you beat them by 1, and then the second time you beat them by 11. So what type of challenges does Baldwinsville present for your team, even though you beat them twice already?
They have 2 really good guards, Sydney and Ola. They're really good at scoring, so we just have to have good defenders on them and be able to help on defense. They also have like a good post in Kyra, I think her name is. So we really have to be good. It all starts on defense. Offense will come for us. So we just got to get stops first.
Yeah. What about that game this past weekend against Liverpool? That was a battle. And it seemed like in the third quarter, it was all defense. Like nobody could score for a while there. And then in the fourth quarter, you guys kind of got it going. And then they got to the point where they had to follow you guys, and you guys were able to close it out. But tell us about that game this past weekend.
Against Liverpool, it's always like a challenge. They're very physical. And they're not necessarily going to beat you with skill, but they're very physical and try to make the game as scrappy as possible. So their physicality really pushed us at the end, and we had to get in the mindset of you have to be as physical as they are to you, and I think we did that. It was really scrappy, like going back and forth, not being able to score was frustrating, but I think we got it together in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It was scrappy too, Nick. You took the words out of my mouth. You guys have a crowd. You guys have a crowd and parents everywhere you go. It seems like, especially in the small OCC gym, a lot of your guys' dads and moms are screamers. How fun is it to have that crowd behind you guys in a setting like that?
It's really fun, especially when like your teammate scores a basket, or if I score a basket and they're all cheering for you. It just like makes you want to try even harder and gets the momentum up. And as you know, like momentum is everything in basketball to go on a run. So it's really important for us, and we love it.
When things got chippy in the game, well, not even chippy, it was really physical. What was your coach saying to you at the time? All those fouls were being called and some fouls were being missed.
He was mostly saying just stay composed, like don't talk back to the ref, don't talk back to the other girls like on Liverpool, because they were talking a lot of crap. So he was just like, don't talk back to them, just ignore it, like don't talk back to the ref, just play your game and stay within like our team and what we want to do, and we'll be fine.
I like it.
So what? Who would you say is the bigger rival for you? Is it Liverpool or is it Baldwinsville? Because they're both close in proximity, so it's like, what do you think?
They're both like pretty big rivals for us. I feel like it's Baldwinsville because they're like the better team, I would say, but I think it's Liverpool because they're always out for us. They always they're always super, super physical and put everything out on the line whenever we play. So I feel like it's Liverpool.
Okay.
I heard the junk talking to, so I can vouch for her.
Yeah. Well, that's how it's supposed to be, and when it gets down to the semifinals and finals. So you guys played Baldwinsville twice this year. The first time you win by 1, you had 22 points. You hit 3 threes. Alita Carey Santangelo had 16 that game. You guys end up winning by 1. The second game, you had 15 points. You guys end up winning by 11. You had a 2-point lead after 3, so it was closer than the final score would suggest. But in that game, is it Kathleen? Is it Taru?
Yeah, Taru.
Taru? Yeah, she had 15, which was a plus, and then Alita had 15, and you had 15 as well. In both games, Sydney Hutala had a good game for Baldwinsville. What do you guys have to do to come out on top with the sectional championship on Sunday?
I think Sydney Hutala is going to get what she's going to get. Like, she's a very good player. She can go to the rim, hit threes and stuff. I think we have to stop their other scores like Ola, because she's a good shooter. She's been doing really well this season. And so we have to stop her and Kyra. And I think they have some girls coming off the bench too. It's just their other scores we have to stop primarily because Sydney's going to get what she's going to get. We just got to stop the other girls.
Yeah. Okay. Stop the others, right? So now you play another sport, but you play other sports besides basketball?
I swam for 3 years. I didn't swim this year just because of basketball. I wanted to focus on basketball. Okay.
And what are your plans for next year at this point?
I'm currently undecided, but I have some options. I'm looking to make a decision hopefully soon.
Okay. You definitely want to play basketball in college, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you were underclassmen when Jess Cook was around, right? Were you around for Jess Cook? Were you a sophomore when she was a senior?
No, I was a junior when she was a senior.
Okay. What did you ever take any valuable lessons from her in her game?
She was just such a hard worker on both ends of the court, and she was like the biggest kid out there, but she was also like the hardest worker and the fastest. So she really pushed our team to be the best that they could be, and she was so good that honestly we could just sit there and she would just get the rebound. So like this year it's actually been like such a challenge for us because I'm specifically so used to just standing out on the perimeter and waiting for her to kick the ball out to me. But now like I've had to become more of a rebounder. So has the rest of our team, because her presence not being there, it just like it's impacted us a lot. But I think we've done well with it and like adapted well.
I like it. And then I wanted to ask you too, how's Santangelo? Is it just a hyperextended? Did she hyperextend her knee and she playing this weekend?
I don't know.
I heard it wasn't nothing major. I think her dad commented on a post on Facebook that it was just a hyperextended, but nobody said if she was playing or not.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to disclose this information.
Yeah, you can't reveal the injury report before game time.
Yeah. We'll see.
Well, she's had a
game time decision.
She's had a big impact. And she's definitely she's a gamer for sure. How's your relationship with her? Are you guys close?
Yeah, we've actually been playing basketball together since we were in like 5th grade. And she's like one girl I've been through like every single step like of the high school basketball with, and we have such a good connection. Like on the court, like I do all the scoring, but she does everything else and some scoring. So it's like we work really well together, and it's been really, really good for our team.
Yeah, it's the thing about seeing as you guys start from a young age and you guys stay together for years to come. That's why there's been so much success dating back to the Stewart days back there.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite athlete Alyssa?
Sorry, say that again.
Who is your favorite athlete to watch?
Like just
Do you have
on
a favorite
TV.
player? Yeah, like a favorite player that you like to.
I like Jason Tatum. I really enjoy watching him. Like
Okay.
John Morant as well. Like NBA, I love watching NBA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Paige Beckers or somebody from UConn, but you said the big dogs.
Yeah.
I do try to watch the UConn games too, though.
Yeah, you came with some.
So I was asking Jacob Works from Liverpool the same question a little bit ago. You guys play the AA final. It's a 7:00 start on Saturday, right? So what will be your pregame routine? How do you treat things when you have a game at 7:00 and you don't have school that day? You have all day leading up to it. How will you get yourself ready for the game?
Try to wake up not at a really, really late time. Like try to wake up like 9, 10, eat breakfast, like eat 2 meals, definitely maybe even 3 meals before game time. I think we're gonna do like a shoot around before, like probably like an hour and a half, just shooting, getting warm, then going on the bus and heading up there. So definitely eating, like sleeping well, going to bed later, like the night before, eating 2 to 3 meals depending on it, and then shooting and then going to play. I think that's good.
Do you have a favorite meal on game day?
I don't eat anything specific, but like I try to eat maybe like a salad or I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how much fun you've been having this season? You guys got a chance to play for the sectional final. That's what you all work for. How fun has this season been for you?
It's been super, super fun. I like the masks and stuff have been like challenging a little bit, but we don't have to wear them anymore, so that's good. Like
Finally, they're off. I told you.
Yeah. COVID also like messed up our season a little bit. We were supposed to go on a trip to Albany. We were actually shut down for like a week during season. So being able to play, like especially, I think we've played maybe like 18 to 20 games this year, and it's just been super fun to have such a great team and be able to play all these games, because last year we only were able to play 11 games and not even have a sectional. So this year has just been so fun. And we also went to New Hampshire. I don't know, we just had a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, you guys have definitely your coach Sykes, he always likes to play teams out of conference to get you guys prepared for anything. Play a tough schedule, which I love. I think that it's great to challenge yourself. You've had an outstanding season. You're averaging just over 20 points a game. Obviously, the 3 is your specialty. I was watching some highlights, and you're like deadly in the corners. Corner threes are money. So
the left corners.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking forward to the game on Saturday. Congratulations for everything up to this point, but I know Sunday's the day you've been waiting for. So get a good night's rest and give it all you got. And we look forward to seeing the game.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Good luck.
All right. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us on the show.
Thank you.
We'll see you Saturday. We'll be there.
Alexa Kulakowski from Cicero North Syracuse. Outstanding player for the North Stars. So next up, we have Christian Amica. Is Christian on yet?
Not yet. He didn't sign on yet.
Not yet. Okay. Yeah. So what are your thoughts about that final, Jeff? CNS and Baldwinsville on the girls' side.
I'm going to say, like I did against Auburn and JD, it's hard to beat a team 3 times, and no matter what level you're playing at. And then I hope nobody gets it twisted that Baldwinsville is a very good team. Baldwinsville has a deep bench, almost like Liverpool boys. She said Ola Kuluta, or the girl we have on tonight, Kyra, the big girl, number 10.
Sydney Hutalo.
Jenny, and then they got a girl Kyra too, and then Ola, which they can anyone can score 20 points a game. So I think it's going to be closer than the 11-point game from the second time that they played, and then add in the fact that it's hard to beat the team 3 times. Yeah,
I mean the first game was a 1-point game, 52-51, I believe it was, and then the second time they ended up winning by 11. But like I said, it was a 2-point game after 3 quarters, so it wasn't like it was. it was a blowout by any means. Both games were really close. So, like you said, it could go either way, and it's going to come down to who's knocking down shots on that night. I think, anytime you have a number 1 seed against number 2, just like we do on the boys' side, obviously it can go either way. So I'm looking forward to that.
And then
Is
I think
Christian on yet?
No, he didn't sign on yet. I know you got his number.
Okay.
You want to text him?
Yeah. So.
I'll tell you who else I was impressed with is Hamilton. The Hamilton boys were great too. I know you did. I know you were down there for that game too.
Yeah, and
together.
What surprised me about that was who they play again? Who did Hamilton play? I did so many games.
It was Waterville, right? With the Maxim kid that went off, or was that C?
No, that was Waterville C. Who did Tully beat?
I'm acting like I don't got him right here.
Or Hamilton beat.
The Ryder and Gavin Richardson going off.
Was the Ryder D?
Yeah, it was Hamilton and the Ryder for the Semis to get there.
Or was it Town of Webb?
No, that was a game before.
Okay.
Well,
anyways, Hamilton game was not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
They were down for a little bit.
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, I don't know why I thought Hamilton would just come out there and come away with it, but they actually had to struggle to win that game, and it's probably good for them going into the final.
I like Hamilton too. Oh yeah, Christian just signed on. I'm gonna bring him on.
Okay.
Yo.
Yeah. What's going on?
What's up, Christian?
How you doing?
Can you hear us? Okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we got Christian Amica on CNY Hoop Talk in the 315 from West Tennessee. He's a junior, averaging just over 13 points a game, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. Christian, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. I heard you're a little upset with me because I didn't pick you guys to win the championship there, but that's okay. We'll talk about that. So, Christian, what I want to ask you right off the bat is you've made a huge improvement on and off the court in the last year and a half or so. Not only did you get a growth spurt, but you've put a lot of your game has just gotten so much better. What have you done? What type of things have you done to take your game to the next level?
Well, outside of like main practice, I lift weights in the off season with my trainer, Scola. I'm always going to the gym, working on my handle, my shot whenever I can. That's about it. I just work.
So you've been putting a lot of hard work into it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff, what do you got for Christian?
I've been watching the last few years. I coach City Rocks too, so I can tell that you really, I say last year you really took off from your game. You had another pep in your step.
Thank you.
What work besides? Do you work out with your brother a lot? Has your brother been a motivator to you?
Yeah, he's a big motivator. Obviously, I'm trying to get to the level he's at someday. But he's at college a lot, so I can't work out with him a lot. But when he's home, I work with him. Not now though, because of his hip injury.
Yeah, he got the old man injury.
Yeah.
Talk about expectations coming into this year, because I'm gonna keep it 100. That I didn't think you guys would be where you guys are now. I think you guys surprised a lot of people's opinions and rankings for you guys. Did you guys have the expectation that you guys would be right here where you are now?
Oh yeah, we knew from the start that we could always be playing in the chip. I think as a team, that's where we saw ourselves ending up at. But yeah, a lot of people have slept on us this year, and we know that, and we made it to where we are though. So.
You ain't lying. I'm gonna be the first to admit it. I told Nick that too. I didn't think that you guys would start where you guys are. You guys are deep too. You guys have a lot of people that do a lot of different things. Who would you say stepped up the most besides yourself from last year to this year? regarding their game?
Well, I mean, they weren't even on the team last year, but I say Jordan and Gary. I say those two, because Gary's a playmaker. He makes a lot of good passes, gets the ball going, and Jordan's scorer. He hits big shots. So I say those two.
Copy.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, to your point, I think a reason why people maybe didn't expect Jenny to have as good as I mean, we thought they would have a good season. They were going to be in the mix from the begin with, but to be 21-1 might have surprised some people. But basically, because your team is young, I mean, you got the core of your team all coming back next year, and maybe people thought you guys were a year away, but not so much. I mean, you guys are 21-1. The only game you lost was to Liverpool. We talked to Jacob Works tonight. We broke down the two games. I'll do the same thing with you. In the first game at your place against Liverpool, you guys are down 13 at halftime, and then you guys blitzed them in the second half. I mean, you guys outscored them by 20 in the second half. You guys were on fire. What do you remember about that first game when you guys beat them?
Well, I remember at going to half, everyone kind of had their heads down and was like out of it. And our coach just got us going and told us that, we've been on the spot a lot and that we can still do this. And I think that was a big effort to coming back.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, you did just that. I mean, the second half, I remember that game. You guys came out. You basically, beat them at their own game. You ran them out of the gym for the second half there. Christian Kane had 27. You ended up with, I think you had, you had 15. That along with 6 rebounds. You guys, the second half, you guys really came out and went to town. In the second game at their place, once again, you're down. You guys are down by, I think it was down by 12 or down by 11 at halftime in the second game. So both games, you got off to a slow start. And then in the second game, Trombley hit 4 threes, and he didn't even play in the first game, and he hit 4 threes in the second game, and I think that was the difference. Liverpool came out on fire, and they basically won that game from start to finish. But what do you remember about the second game?
Liverpool was on fire. Like, they weren't missing. I think the score was like 84-72. Like, that was a really high-scoring game. But I think that game, we just got out-rebounded. I didn't have the best game also that game, so that could have contributed to it. But
you had 8 points, but you did have 4 rebounds. So obviously you got one, they got one. What does your team have to do to come out on top Sunday night?
I think we just got to play our game. We got to play defense, how we always play defense. We got to move the ball a lot. We got to make shots.
And how scared were you this past weekend down the stretch against FM?
Like, you knew where I was going.
Yeah. It got scary there at the end.
That was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
What do you hit that buzzer beater?
So I was looking. Yeah, so I was looking at the replay on the video, right? And I'm looking at the inbounds play. And from what I saw, it looked like they were doing everything they could to deny you and Christian Kane from getting the ball. And somehow McNeil slipped free right at the bucket with a point-blank layup. How did you see things play out on that inbounds play?
We drew it up like that because we knew that they were going to be on me and Christian. So I told him that he should slip because I was going to be open to the basket.
Okay. Who took the ball out for that last possession?
I think Gary.
Did he? And
I think it might have been Jordan.
One was wrong.
It might have been one of them.
Gary just commented. He said, I love you, Christian. He wanted me to tell you that.
I love you too, Gary.
What
Well, Christian, yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
I was just saying, what going into the game Sunday, you guys know what they're about. You guys know what they do. Do you guys have a plan to shut a certain person down to try to get the game in your guys' hands, or is it all going to be you guys head up and you guys are going to try to stop everybody?
Yeah, there's no like game plan towards one person. It's just trying to stop everybody. Just play how we play.
Yeah, I think Jeff, I think this is going to come down to like a lot of these big games come down to with really good teams is you expect the players to play, and then it's going to come down to the others, right? Like for instance, in that second game, it was somebody like Trombley who hits 4 threes that you don't expect that to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody else, like on West Genesee, somebody else besides the two Christians and somebody else is going to have to come up, step up as well. And I like what you said, Christian. Gary McLean, I like his game too. He does. It's not so much that he scores a lot of points, but he does a lot of the other things good. He'll rebound. He'll set good picks. He gives you good passes. I really like his complementary game to what you guys do well.
He doesn't try to do too much ever.
Oh,
yeah.
You're breaking up there for a second.
Yeah, I was just saying, I really like. I think Gary really compliments you guys, the scorers. I think he really compliments you guys well.
Yeah, he always finds us.
So, Christian, one of the things I saw this year, obviously you've always been a good shooter, right? I mean, even when you were younger, you were a really good shooter. But this year, your body got stronger. I think what I saw this year was your ability to defend really got a lot better. I mean, you basically took on having guard works in the first game. You're not afraid to guard the other team's best player, and I think that's been a big key. What has been the difference for you on the defensive end to just lock in and shut somebody down?
I think that my feet have gotten a lot quicker in next year and over this year. Able to move my feet a lot. But yeah, I think the strength, and I know that I have to lock down on defense for us to win. So.
Yeah, and you also seem like you've added to your game, putting it on the floor and going to the basket. Like I said, you could always shoot, but sometimes if you're just a shooter, people will try to take that away from you. And now you've added that next part to your game where you're actually taking it to the rack. Is that something you worked hard on in the offseason?
Yeah, I went back to my trainer, Billy. I went back to the training with him, my ball handling and attacking the rim. So, yeah, I worked on that a lot.
Shout out to Billy Edelin.
Yeah, best training 3-on-5.
He gets everybody right.
Mm-hmm.
What are practices like for West Jenny? Because you guys have some young boys on the bench. I think the JV team went 17-3. Did you guys pull anybody up just to practice with you guys going into the finals?
Yeah, we pulled up the shooter Joe Cavallo. Pull up him. We pulled up Sincere Smith.
Okay.
And Sam Morrow. Yeah, Sam Morrow.
So 3 JV.
But yeah. But practice be competitive. Everyone's always chipping at each other. Everyone's trying to win. They're fun.
Talk about that. Talk about that Jenny student section that you guys got going wild every game. How does that impact you guys and get you guys' energy going when you guys are down in a game and they start to cheering?
Yeah, they're awesome. When they're cheering, they give us energy. When we get energy, we get going. And when we got the momentum, it's hard for us to lose. So,
yeah, because y'all be rolling.
They're a big part.
Shout out to your mom, too, because she be getting that student section going.
Yeah, she be getting the student section going. She'd be the most hype out there.
Yeah, you need that, though. You need parents like that. You got good people behind you, too, man. You come from a good family. Shout out to your brother, too. And you've been working, man. Like I said, I've been watching the last 2 years. A couple of years ago, you didn't want to get up and down that floor during AAU practice, but I seen you last year. That's all you did was run. You lost some weight, too. So you definitely got, I can tell that about you. You definitely put that on. And then you got another year to go, man. Don't stop.
Thank you.
Don't listen to nobody on the outside. Keep working.
Yeah. So
listen
last question, Christian. 7:00 game Sunday night. It's a day that you don't have school. How are you going to manage that day? What type of things will you do leading up to the game? Do you have any pregame ritual? Anything you like to eat leading up to a game like that?
I don't really have one specific thing I like to eat, but I'll probably wake up a little early that day. Stretch, eat, just chill, but not sleep all day, because then I'll just be tired. But
Yeah,
I'll probably just wake up, stretch, chill.
Well, congratulations to you. The hard work is paid off, and you are no longer Will Amica's younger brother. You're Christian Amica, making a name for yourself. So congratulations on that. Good luck in the sectional finals Sunday night. That's what it's all about. And we look forward to checking out the game and seeing how the chips fall.
Thank you.
Good luck, boy. We'll be there. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate you for having me on.
Gotcha. We'll see you this weekend.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Have a good night.
Christian Amica from West Genesee High School on CNY Hoop Talk in the 315. So we've talked to Jacob Works from Liverpool, Alexa Kulakowski from CNS, Christian Amica from West Genesee, and next up we got Sydney Hutala coming on from Baldwinsville. Has Sydney checked in yet?
Not yet. She's not on yet.
Okay.
It's 9:25 on the dot.
So again, who did you pick to win that West Jenny Liverpool game in their preseason pick there, or your pre-pick there?
We both chose Liverpool. I said it was going to be 64-57. We'll see.
Oh, you gave a score and everything, huh?
Yeah, remember because it was late that night. You said you didn't want to. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think it might be low scoring but they get out and run, so you never know. I'm just glad we're going to be there. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, so the first game,
60s. It was in the 60s and 50s, right?
Yeah, and then the second game was a little higher. The second game,
78, 62.
73-66 was the first game West Jenny won, and then 84-72 was the second game that Liverpool won. So very high scoring game in the second one. It's going to be interesting. Like we were saying in the conversation there, a lot of times in games like this, you expect Christian Kane to play well. You expect Christian Amica to play well. You expect Jacob Works, Andreo Ash, Jaden Reynolds to play well. Yeah, it might come down to
McDeal.
What other guy on each team is going to step up and make a contribution, and that could be the difference in the game. So,
definitely. Sydney's on if you want to.
Yeah, let's bring Sydney on.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Sid.
Hi, Sydney. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you too.
Okay.
Nick got kicked off. He always does this every show. He'll probably be back in a minute.
What, does he have bad service?
Yeah. I told him to come to my house. We don't ever get kicked off. But I guess we'll go into it. You guys are having an amazing season. Championship time this weekend. I see that you have an Niagara University shirt on. Are you going to Niagara?
Yeah, I'm committed there for lacrosse.
I got you. Talk a little bit about you guys' expectations coming into the season before you guys knew that you guys were going to be as good as you are. Nick's back too.
I think we did expect to do well, but we weren't sure exactly how our team was going to work together after losing players, Hannah Mimas, and 2 years ago when we lost Katie, Pascal, and Jordan Roy. So we just had to see how we were going to work together as a team. But we've been playing with each other for a long time, so we also had team chemistry. So there was that too.
I just asked your expectations coming into the season, Nick.
Yeah. So Sydney, before we go any further, do you prefer Sid or Sydney? I've heard people call you Sid.
Either's fine.
Either's fine. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead.
I was just saying I'm used to Sid. My coach just yells that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. You've had a good year. You've averaged anywhere from 12 to 15 points a game. Tell us a little bit about your team. What type of things does Baldwinsville bring to the table? Tell us about the girls.
Well, we have Ola Benarchik, and she can do pretty much everything. She can shoot, she can drive, she can post, she can play anywhere, any position, and she's very basketball knowledge and very versatile on the court, so she's pretty hard to guard. And then we have Kyra on the post, and she can make a post move anywhere, and she can jump out of the gym. It's a volleyball in her. And then she plays volleyball, so she's strong on the boards. And then we have Carly Young. She's like a clutch shooter. She came up with some clutch shots for us in the semifinals last week. And we have a deep bench with like Maggie Solomon and Ava Graham and all of them.
So I asked Alexa this question. I'm going to ask you the same thing. What do you think is your biggest rival? Is it CNS or is it Liverpool?
It's dependent on the year. Normally it's CNS, and I think CNS is still like always going to be a big rival. But this year we had Liverpool. I won't lie. So it was very competitive when we played them.
Well, you guys both agree on that Liverpool's the big competition, but you guys came out on top.
Yeah.
And then you guys played. How was you guys beat Rome? You guys, that was a scrappy game also. Talk a little bit about how that game went in your guys' favor.
Well, so obviously we couldn't stop Amaya from scoring. She's just a very good player and everything. Our team came strong and like trying to defend the other players and shutting off the other players from scoring, so she had less help, which allowed us to pull out in the end. And we got our ass together in the second half because we weren't playing that well offensively, and we started running our stuff.
You guys have a fiery
Tell us
coach
about Coach Morris. Yeah, we're going to say the same thing.
See, Nick, we're getting the hang of this. We know what we're going to say now.
Yeah.
What about
Tell us about Coach Morris and how she is on the bench.
Coach Morris. Well, there's a lot to Coach Morris there. So I don't know. My first time on the court as a freshman, I was kind of shaking. I was like Maddie Polkey right now. She's our little freshman on our team, and you can tell she gets a little nervous. She gets out there and she gets yelled at, but like the yelling, you just get used to it, and it's like it's not really yelling. She's just like trying to speak loud to get into your head and like to tell you what to do. So like, and then when we're on the defensive end on our side, she like go there, shoot her there. So like she was really good talking to us from the sideline.
Yeah,
it's very
She is one of the best.
And you know she cares about you. She cares about you guys, and she's just trying to get the most out of you.
If she's getting on you, she cares.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the two games you played this year against CNS. The first one you played on January 7th. You lost by 1, 52-51. You had a big game that game. You actually had two of your best games of the season against CNS. The first game, you had 23 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. I mean, you were all over the place. But you guys fell short, ended up losing by 1. What do you remember about that game?
I remember, I don't think we played a very strong first and second quarter, so we were kind of like battling back from that. And I'm not going to lie, I'm still a little angry because there was a foul on our last shot, but you can't that either. So, but I just remember defensively, we needed to pick it up the whole game.
Yeah. So the second game on Valentine's Day, you guys lose by 11, 55-44. You had another good game, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Like I said, you've had two of your best games against CNS. What happened in that game that caused you guys to let that one go?
We struggled with boxing out that game, and they got multiple like shots on a possession, which they were shooting very well that game, and even their post Kat, she was draining threes, and we need to get out on that and box out, and that killed us in the end, which is why we lost by 11.
Yeah. So here we go. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. You can put your, you can take that with you. But what do you and the team have to do Sunday to change your fate against CNS this season in the sectional final?
We just need to put a full 4 quarters together. We haven't done that yet this season. We've played like good like parts of a game, but we've always had like a quarter at least where we a falling point or like a dead spot where we haven't scored and like weren't playing well defensively. So if we put a full game together, we should be pretty well off.
Okay. And I was doing some research on you. You also play field hockey?
Yeah.
And you still play that?
Yeah, I played it this past fall and we won sectionals. So I'm hoping to get a second.
Oh, she already got a chip.
Oh.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Trying to get 3.
So so what's your best sport?
Best sport or like favorite?
Well, give me both, your favorite and your best.
Honestly, for best, I'd just say a 3-way tie. And then for favorite, I'd go basketball or lacrosse. They're tied.
Okay.
Basketball's always been my favorite, but lacrosse like rose up and like tied it, I guess.
So she's trying to go for a
So
triple
what are you
crown.
gonna?
She's trying to go for
So what are you gonna do?
I'm coming to Niagara for lacrosse.
Okay. Yeah, I see the sweatshirt there. Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was it about Niagara that made you choose them?
They're very competitive and like obviously lacrosse and everything, and like I liked all their programs and stuff. And actually Jordan Roy, I mentioned earlier, she's one of the goalies there, so it kind of felt like I had someone to like go there with, or like so I wasn't like all alone. And then I just really like the coaches and everything and the staff, and I'm excited to play there.
Okay. So I've been asking the rest of the guests on the show tonight. Your sectional final game on Saturday is at 7:00 at night. It's a non-school day, obviously. For the first time all season, you won't have to wear a mask, so that'll be cool. But how are you going to prepare for a 7:00 game on Saturday, having the whole day to yourself?
Well, Friday night we have a team dinner actually, so we got that carb loading ready, and then go to a decent time, and then like wake up like not like too late, and then eat at least 2 meals, maybe 3. Like eat one quick before the game so I have energy, and drink water, and then we'll probably have a shoot around to get us moving and stuff, so that'll help.
Okay. Jeff, you have anything else for Sid?
Yeah, I just want to shout out. Your mom is your guys' team photographer, isn't she?
Yeah, she takes pictures for like all the teams in Bevo. She just like.
And then she's one of the moms that's very involved too. I hear her yelling on the sideline. I think I stood next to her the other day and I didn't realize it was her. What impact has she has on your athletic career?
She's always pushed me to just like play my best. Like even if she's yelling at me, like she makes me play better. Low key. Don't tell her I said that though.
I hope she was watching. And then you have a little brother too, right? That's on. Does he play basketball too?
Actually, he's my twin brother.
Oh, you guys are twins?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. I thought he was a younger brother.
No, he's 2 minutes older actually.
Is he going to Niagara too then?
No, thank God.
What's he play? Does he play football too?
He's going to St. Lawrence for football.
Oh, that's what's up. So yeah, I just want to shout out to your mom. I talk to her all the time on Facebook. I made a big post the other day about photographers that are giving you guys memories that are going to last forever. So you definitely have a good mother that's involved, and we love stuff like that.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Everything she does.
So Sid, you got a big game coming up this weekend. It's what you guys worked all year for. You got an opportunity to win the chip. So you know what that's like from doing it earlier this year on the field hockey side of things. So good luck this Saturday night. We look forward to watching you play, and we hope for a great game, and do your best out there.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me.
We'll be there. Good luck, girl.
All right. Thank you for coming on. Sid Hutala from Baldwinsville High School. There you have it, folks. We've given you Jacob Works from Liverpool, Alexa Kulakowski from CNS, Christian Amica from West Genesee, and Sydney Hutala from Baldwinsville. 4 of the key players coming up in this weekend's sectional finals up at Onondaga Community College. We're looking for more great games. And Jeff, we got another great finals preview show planned for tomorrow night. I know we got Amara Strife from Bishop Ludden scheduled to come on.
Mhm.
Jenna Sloan from Bishop Grimes is scheduled to come on tomorrow night. Cameron Comstock will be on the show tomorrow night along with Will Smith. So we look forward to having those guys on tomorrow night in our second of 2 finals preview shows. And I don't know. I look forward to an exciting weekend this weekend. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then we'll be able to sit for some games for once because you've been busy the whole year.
Yeah.
I've been busy too, so we'll hang out Saturday. I'll come bug you Sunday.
Yeah.
While you're calling the games.
Yeah.
And then we'll let the people enjoy tomorrow night too with the guests that we got on tomorrow night.
Yeah. All right, there you go. It's another great show from CNY Hoop Talk and the 315. We hope you enjoyed it. If anyone would like to watch this back at any time, you can always go on YouTube and search CNY Hoop Talk and watch the episodes back. Jeff, it was good show tonight. Enjoyed it with you, and we'll talk tomorrow night. 8 o'clock start tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, I'll make that post. I'll tag you in it. You already know. And just text me if you have any questions.
Look for the information on social media. 8 o'clock show tomorrow night. Our second of 2 finals previews for the high school basketball.
Sounds good.
All right, Jeff. Have a good rest of your evening.
You too. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Take care.